Ladies, likes, and locks in the NBA streets, NBA playoff streets, that is. Hit the like button, subscribe button, notification bell goes a long way for me on this video, goes a long way for you. That way you become a prize whenever great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. Great content as I check up live here because I just got done breaking down baseball for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours, that's for sure. Knicks are going to look here. It looks to the 76ers. There are 27 seconds left here, 101.96. Oh, there's a three. There's a three. That just happened, so that's enjoyable to watch. And then Denver, LA, they are off here in 2.2 seconds here, coming at you 10:07 Eastern, 7:07 Western, that's not a thing. Pacific, there we are. Anyway, friends, we're going to get ourselves into this three-gamer before us here. I've got a couple of plays. I'm ready to rock here. If you're ready to rock, I'll talk BetMGM. I'll talk all of these lovely things here, but we'll say it right from the get-go. No locks that exist on this specific card. The D'Angelo Russell, 15.5 points. We got very nice closing value with that. Again, he shot poorly one day. Happens a lot, but there's a lot of reactionary stuff that happens from game to game here. Again, the half point there I thought was a pretty decent spot to still have half a unit there on the Knicks. Would appear that was not the case here unless something happens in these last couple seconds to potentially tie this thing up and go, oh, Josh Hart steal. What is happening? Is this going to happen? No way. Give us overtime. Give us overtime. Give us overtime. Give us overtime. What do we do? One-time dealer. Dante DiVincenzo. What? Three? Oh! Doesn't help our -5. Dante DiVincenzo went over 3.5 threes. That's also bad for me. Anyway, friends, we have a totally normal 3-game slate here before us on Tuesday. Producer Jacob, hi, hello. Let's get to the picks. Oh my gosh, we did not get the cover there for the half unit on the 76ers Knicks game, but what an unbelievable finish. 205. Total goes under still too. And yeah, pretty unbelievable basketball game. It's one of those things. Playoff basketball is one of my favorite things, period. And as somebody who grew up in South Dakota, driving with my dad 1.5 for the Kevin Garnett experience, feels like we might have something brewing there in Minnesota yet again. Man, I just got chills even thinking about that. Can you see it? Can you see it? No, because I have to use this shitty camera at the moment. But anyway, Phoenix plus 2.5 going up against my Minnesota Timberwolves. Now, there are a lot of threes that exist, but there is a 2.5 lingering over at BetMGM right now. And here's why I think that is a great opportunity here. We saw Minnesota finally play completely up to their expectations here. Now, Cat, he had just re-entered this lineup there, and there's going to be a tiny bit of adjustment, like a day or two adjustment there to get him acclimated, get him ready to rock. I want to rock. Be ready to go there. And then Ant, 33, 9, and 6. I mean, this guy is just on another planet. Love him come playoff time. Now, Phoenix, they're going to have to make some adjustments, but I've said this before. I'm going to say it again. I thought one of the reasons we wanted to really go out and pick on their under 48.5 wins, they ended up getting 49 and we lose by the hook, even though they had a 92% chance to go under that. With 2 weeks left to go, they go on a crazy run. It is what it is. Win their last 3 games in a row, including a blowout win against my Minnesota Timberwolves. But I'm looking at a bench that has nothing. Drew Eubanks, 9 minutes, -14. Royce O'Neal, 26 minutes, -17. Eric Gordon, 21 minutes, -18. They're going to have to play Durant, Allen, Booker, Beal, and Nurkic until the wheels fall off. They just have to play these dudes 38 plus minutes. Now, Grayson Allen, he got dinged up a little bit, but 25 minutes for him, that was a little bit strange to me, but they are doing some things to correctly pick on Grayson Allen, making him switch onto Ant, and Ant was just obliterating him at times. So they went to the bigger Royce O'Neal. Not going to work. If Ant's knocking down mid-range jumpers and threes like he was on that clip, it is going to be problematic for this team. And Karl-Anthony Towns, 5 for 9 from the field, 8 for 8 from the line, just efficient. And then the rebounding. I just want to point out the rebounding discrepancy. 52 for the Minnesota Timberwolves to the 28 for the Suns. They got to rebound a basketball exponentially better than what we just saw, or they've got to shoot the absolute living piss out of the basketball. 32.1% from 3 is not going to crack it against this Minnesota defense. They're 30-11 at home during the regular season, 1-0 now here in the playoffs. I think they make it 2-0, and I think they cover pretty nicely for us this 2.5. Really like getting that hook at a key number here again. 3, I'm okay with it if you really, really want it, but 2.5, that's the prime spot, friends. Hopefully Phoenix starts taking some money. I know that they took some money in the series market, but Minnesota, yeah, 0-3 during the regular season, 2 of those without Cat, one of them where it was just a dinged up, ridiculous spree at the end of that season. Not going to look too further into that. Super quick, super easy, friends. Odd Shopper, $14.95 weekly. UOS Premium Tools, Discord Insider Access, my betting card Monday through Friday. Great stuff. You also will use promo code Lindy, Lindy. Bang, 20% off. Expert Picks, Discord Premium Tools, all in one package. Sign up for it down at the link below. Awesome sauce. Yes, I just said awesome sauce. Back to the picks we go. This is probably the play. Like if you said, Eric, you have to lock it. I would lock half of this portion right here. We're running back Indy and Milwaukee, and what an absolute dunce cap performance here by the Milwaukee in the second half a little bit from Damian Lillard, who ended up with a plus minus over the course of this game. No, absolute dunce cap performance by Tyrese Halliburton and these Indiana Pacers. I don't know what's going on with my guy Tyrese Halliburton. Iowa State's, brothers, we stick together, but gotta say, didn't love what I saw, how could you like what you saw there from this Pacers matchup? I think Pascal Siakam was definitely the MVP on their side of the floor, but only 94 points for a team that loves to play up in tempo. Milwaukee defensively made some nice moves. They moved Beasley to the bench. They have an opportunity to start Bobby Portis, but foul trouble for Bobby Portis, over 2. There's a lot of excuses you can make for why he played the 31 minutes, but he was a plus 23. I'm not so concerned about that. He ends up going for 15 and 11, absolute smash fest. But one of the adjustments I think you're going to get from the Indiana Pacers side is they are going to play Miles Turner for more than 33 minutes. I think one of the things they have to take advantage of is the ability to stretch the floor and pull Brook Lopez away from the basket with somebody who can be a competent shooter like Miles Turner. They ended up going to 13 minutes of Obi Toppin, 13 minutes of Jalen Smith, and 18 minutes for TJ McConnell. He's been playing more alongside Mr. Halliburton here, who again, 4 for 7 from the field, 9 points, 8 assists. What am I even looking at for a box score from him? He's got to be out there pushing tempo. They're a thick person. I need tempo. Please don't put that in the social clip. Anyway, Milwaukee friends, I'm telling you, Bobby Portis, he might play a couple more minutes here, but I do expect for them to have Pascal Siakam primarily on that. And I do think that this is a pretty large projection on both of these over at DraftKings right now. You're getting plus money to take 2 stabs at an under on Bobby Portis. 17.5 for points. That would be the lock category for me. 10.5 rebounds. That would be the like category for me. I do think Bobby Portis has the potential to step into more minutes there. There's also the chance that Malik Beasley, if he comes out and is knocking down threes, there's ways that he plays himself into more minutes. They might have Jay Crowder out there who can stand in a corner and give Dame some source of relief there. But Bobby Portis is not known as some knockdown shooter by any means. 0 for 2 from 3 there in that specific spot, but kind of been out kicking his coverage quite a bit in the absence of Giannis Antetokounmpo here in some of these spots. I think negative regression is in store for him to some extent here. He is a negative 1.9 defender. There are lots of ways Indy can make him pay. 40.5% from 3 this season is crazy high. His best mark since 2021, where he was insane for one season, but been closer to around 37, 38%. Still good from that regard, but his defensive inefficiencies, I think there are things Indy can do to take advantage of it. Think there's a minutes downside that still exists despite the foul trouble we saw in game 1. So lots to be talking about there, but Bobby Portis under 17.5 points, Bobby Portis under 10.5 rebounds. I have a little bit on both. If you want to throw them together, that's the ultimate way to say, hey, he plays fewer minutes, small little parlay action, fire it up at plus money on both of those legs. Also, friends, the first bet safety net still live over at BetMGM at the link below. I don't know how long this is going to exist for, but take advantage of it now because it's an opportunity to get money back if your first bet loses. So if there's something that you really like particularly a Luka Doncic triple-double coming up next, perhaps, ooh, that would be a nice big plus money thing to be firing up. But first bet safety net up to $1,500. That just simply means if you deposit $50 and bet $50, you'll get $50 back if that first bet you make loses, whether that's for $25 or for $50, so on and so forth, up to $1,500. Great opportunity to build and sustain that bankroll, friends. I'm getting tired. Sorry. 21 and over. Only if you're 21 and over is this offer available. Please play responsibly. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Back to the pick we go. I don't know why I just said that singular. Picks. This is technically going to be 2 things we talk about. But they're both going to be leans because I have no idea what to make about the fact that Kawhi showed up as questionable on the injury report. Yeah, you heard me, questionable. We have Kawhi Leonard, questionable. They said at some point in the series he's going to come back. Does that mean he comes back here now that they're up 1-0 in a spot where you want to hold serve at home? I'm not sure, but Kawhi Leonard is one of the most impactful two-way players in modern NBA, period. Probably one of the best two-way players that we've ever had because he was so good defensively with San Antonio. His 1 year with Toronto, he goes out and wins a championship. Seems pretty good. He was the number one alpha there offensively and defensively. Brought Pascal Siakam along for the ride. Beautiful time to be alive. And now he's hanging out in LA, back in his home stomping grounds, feeling good. 2.5 hour drive north to San Diego, feeling great. Feeling great, feeling good. How are you? I don't know how he's feeling coming into this one. All I know is he's a 95th percentile basketball player on both the offensive and defensive end. Would be a huge upgrade to get 28, 30 minutes of him as opposed to Amir Coffey. Now, I don't know what those minutes are going to look like. I'm assuming he's close to 100% if you're going to be firing him up here in this spot. I don't think that they've waited this long with him. Bypassed a lot of seeding. Still found themselves avoiding the play-in tournament, which was a big deal to them the last couple weeks. Probably one of the reasons that they didn't hit eject on stuff. Had some Bones Highland performances. He's not going to show up in this game. That would be absolutely shocking. But what I do find to be pretty darn fascinating, if I do say so myself, friends. Oh, D'Angelo Russell's 3 for 3 from 3. Oh, just starting off there. Anyway, back to the basketball game. Just wanted to throw it out there. Like the game of basketball, talking about this one. Here we are. Yep. Anyway, yeah, I think Kawhi, you need to get that status there, and I would be firing up Clippers plus 2.5 if I knew Kawhi was playing basketball. I have no idea what to make of it at the time being. I have no clue. He's questionable, but this is a Dallas team that had the number one defensive rating with their starting five leading into the playoffs here, but they had played absolutely nobody for what it's worth. They had a game back-to-back, well, 2 games back-to-back there. Oklahoma City, then Denver. Otherwise, they didn't play a single playoff team basically for the last month and a half. They played the Celtics the 1st of March or whatever it was, but looking through their schedule and adjusting their scheduling for who I think they are, Dallas maybe got a nice draw, if I do say so myself. Just saying. No idea what to make about the Kawhi side. That being said, friends, Luka Doncic on the season, 35.7% usage, 42.8% assist rate. You don't want to go down 0-2 going back home here against a team that maybe could just wait and unleash Kawhi in a game 3. But plus 300 for a triple-double at FanDuel. Potentially even better if you build it out by levels. You could go to like 35 plus points, 10-10, and go that direction. But both of the legs are ever so slightly plus money on 9.5 for the rebounds assists. Getting the entire portfolio at plus 300 on DK, pretty decent way to go about living your life. Want to take a look at that again tomorrow. Would like it to go up a little bit. I have this not quite efficient, but I think I'm just going to wait and see what else shows up here. Lots of prop exposure I'm going to have on these games. I generally do. So I'm going to take a backseat to it. If you want to fire it up, though, it is positive EV ever so slightly at plus 300. Would be just fine with that. See you guys on Wednesday. And that does it for another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks in the NBA playoff streets. You know what to do. Go to that comment section below. Let me know if D'Angelo Russell did eviscerate this number. Again, 3 for 3 from 3 to start off the game. Ooh, daddy. 9 of the first 15 for the Lakers. Feeling good about that call. That was one of my more confident locks that I've had in a while, so that was nice. It'd also be nice if we got my Tuesday over 10 runs through for Houston and Chicago. Check out MLB Lindy so you can find out more about that one. Looking pretty nice in Wrigley Field for tomorrow. Producer Jacob, thank you so much. Until next time, friends, I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the NBA streets on Tuesday.